Welcome back everyone to another episode of the Bayern Munich Career Mode series, and this is going to be the 22nd episode of the series, and it will be the start of Season 2 of this career mode. Before we get into anything though, I do want to thank you guys for all the support on the last episode, and I just want to apologise for the lack of videos recently. It's been a pretty busy time and I haven't really been able to upload consistently. I do apologise about that. But yes, we are going into the second season of this career mode with Bayern Munich, but before we do that, we are going to take a little look at some of the stats for the season. Firstly, we're going to take a little look at some of the player stats for this season, starting off with the Bundesliga. Lewandowski just about finished top scorer with 17 goals scored this season. Lewandowski finished top of the goal scoring charts in the Bundesliga, although I felt like he could have scored a few more. Max Kruse ended up finishing top assister for Werder Bremen, and from our team, we don't actually have any players in the top 5 from this list, although we do take up the 6th, 7th and 8th place spot, with Lewandowski, Vidal and Sanchez getting 6 and 7 respectively. Clean sheets, unsurprisingly, Manuel Neuer dominated that with 17 in the league. Sven Bender ended up getting 7 yellow cards this season, which is quite a lot. And not really too many players got red cards this season, only Abrashi from Freiburg getting 2 there. The top scorer in the Deutsche Pokal ended up being Rafael of Borussia Mönchengladbach. To be honest, we didn't really score too many goals with one set player in the Deutsche Pokal, with Royce only getting 2 goals as our best player there. Vidal got 2 assists, and once again, it seems like a lot of the assists are spread out between a lot of the teams. I'm also going to go ahead and show you some of the final league tables for some of the big leagues. In England, Manchester United won the title with 91 points, and Burnley, Bournemouth and Watford ended up getting relegated. PSG ended up winning Ligue 1. A bit of a surprise there in Serie A with Napoli winning the league. Barcelona ended up winning the league title by 1 point, but it was very close there between Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid as well. And before we do finish off the season here with Bayern Munich, I'm going to take a little look at the squad report for one final time. Manuel Neuer played the majority of our games this season in goal, getting 30 clean sheets from 49 games. No growth from him, but he is 31 now, so I don't think he's going to grow too much more. Philipp Lahm again playing majority of our games at right back, down by -2, which is a bit of a shame. Jerome Boateng not growing at all, but he did play a lot of our games again at centre back. Mats Hummels having signed from Dortmund in the summer, again a very key figure in defence, but once again a player that's not really growing too much, and I don't really see him growing too much again next season. David Alaba almost at that 90 overall, he grew by +2 this season, and he's got some really good looking technical development there, really good dark green stats pretty much across the board. Xabi Alonso will be retiring at the end of this season unfortunately, but he did play well when he did play. Renato Sanchez is probably going to be the player to replace Xabi Alonso, and he's gone up by +3 this season. Joshua Kimmich again, another very exciting prospect for the future, 81 overall, +3 this season. Kingsley Coman will be a player that's leaving us at the end of this season, going back to Juventus, but I think with what he's contributed and his development in his overall, I think I will be signing him up in the summer. One player that we did sign up in January, being Marco Reus, hasn't grown just yet, but he's been in good form since we signed him. Julian Draxler, not really scoring too many goals and assisting too much, but he's grown very, very well this season. Already at an 87 overall, only at the age of 23. When Boateng was out, Nicolas Süle really did fill in well. He didn't play too many games, but when he did, he was a very solid outlet. Douglas Costa, again, another one of our wingers that wasn't outstanding, but when he was in good form, he really did play well. The same goes for Thomas Muller, really. He didn't really play outstanding overall in the whole season, but he did play well in patches. Thiago at the age of 26, I think still has a bit more room to develop. He went up by +1 this season. Lewandowski not growing despite the fact that he got 23 goals in 49 games. Arturo Vidal already showing signs at the age of 30 of decreasing in stats, going in -1 in dribbling, but he had a very good season, so I don't really understand why that's happened. Ian Robben, maybe a player that we look to sell in the summer because he is drastically declining. Igor Grabasic, our young goalkeeper, up by +1. Johannes Eggestein, one of the young strikers we did sign, is up to a 68. Bazzi is also up to a 68, didn't really play too much though. Donnarumma is easily the best player growth-wise this season, up by +11 to 87, only at the age of 18, and you look at his stats already and they're just phenomenal, they really are. +20 in kicking, plus 13 in positioning, just absolute madness. Benjamin Henrichs had a very good game against Spurs in the Champions League. He's up by plus 4 to a 70. Elcid Haysaj had a very good season, going up by plus 3 to an 82. Dominic Heinz was brought in the January transfer window as a bit of a backup centre-back. He went up by plus 3. Juan Bernat went up by plus 2 to an 81, a very good backup left-back. And then we've got some players out on loan here who did develop in some places very nicely, especially Gordino there. We do have a player contract expiring as well in Felix Goetze, but I think I've made a collective decision that I'm just going to be letting him go. I don't really see him having a future at Bayern Munich. He doesn't really have the potential, and I think it's worth just letting him go. But yeah, now that we've looked at all of that, that's going to be the end of this first season here of the Bayern Munich Career Mode. And now let's get on into this second season. I think the Bayern board are a little bit over their heads. They're saying that I've won the league, I've won the Champions League, I've won the League Cup as well, but that's satisfactory apparently. They say that I hope I do even better next year, but how can I improve on that? I can get a better squad, yes, but that's ridiculous. Their expectations are just out of this world. But here we are into this second season now of the Bayern Munich Career Mode. And before we get into anything, let's take a little look at some of the messages we have. So the only really important one is just about shirt sales. And the way that we can just combat that is by signing a world-class player. Before we do that though, my main priority is trying to secure a deal for Kingsley Coman. I'll go ahead and offer 38 million, his valuation. I'm not sure that Juventus are going to accept it, but I'm just going to test the waters. I am going to make my first real big offer though for a player, and it's going to be Gareth Bale from Real Madrid. Once again, I'm not really too sure how much they want for Gareth Bale, but I'm going to go ahead and offer 50 million plus Robben. I've had a lot of people telling me I should go for Neymar as well, but I think he's going to be a little bit too expensive for us at the moment. He's currently worth 112 million euros, and we don't really have anywhere near that amount. And it's not like they just want his valuation either. They're trying to get 168 million at the most for him. It's a very, very optimistic offer, but I'm going to try and offer 90 million plus Robben just to see what they say. You never know, they might accept it. I'm also going to make an offer for Eden Hazard, a player that was suggested quite a lot as well last season. Similar for the Bale deal, I'm going to go ahead and offer 55 million plus Iron Robben. Of course as well, we have some pre-season tournament invites. We have 3 here that we can choose from, and I think it really only makes sense to go with the Asian Elite Cup. It's the least difficult and it offers the most prize money. And here's a little look at some of the players that I'm looking to loan out. We've got a few players here for short loans, and I'm loaning these players out for short-term loans because I do want to try and boost their potential. But for these 2 players here, Schwarzer and Grabasic, I just want to give them some experience. There's also the issue that we do have now of having quite a lot of centre-backs that we have in the club. Now there's one of 2 things that we can do here. We can either change to a 3 at the back formation, or I sell one of these players because they're probably not going to be needed. The most logical option to sell is probably Heinz, but then again he's 7 years younger than Benassia, and he'll probably turn out to be better than Benassia if I just give him a bit of training this season. So I'm not really too sure what I should do with Benassia. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments below. But I'm going to be ending off this episode a little bit earlier than I normally would, and the main reason for that is I want you guys to have as much input on this transfer window as possible, and in doing so I'm ending off this episode a little bit earlier just so you guys can get your suggestions in for the next episode, especially on players that we should sign but also players that we should sell, such as Benassia. Maybe we should sell him, maybe we should keep him. I want you guys to have the decision in the comments below. Make sure you let me know. And if you are looking forward to this second season of this career mode, make sure you leave a like on the video. And if you are new around here as well, make sure you do subscribe. If we can try and get over 80 likes on this first episode of season 2, that would be greatly appreciated. But apart from that guys, I'm going to have to leave it there, and I'll see you next time for another video. Thanks for watching.